Hello and welcome or welcome back to What Heather Did. I'm Heather and today I have another shirt tutorial for you. So, do you remember when I made this shirt out of two thrifted shirts? Very cute. Love it. I actually wear it a lot. I do want to put a little bit of a, not a little bit because you can't have a little bit of a better neckline, but I'm going to add a neckline to it. I just haven't done it yet. So, first time I wore it, my stepmom saw it and was like, oh, yes, I want that. I want a shirt just like that. And I was like, oh, haha, yeah, as soon as I find another shirt just like this. It wasn't this. She wasn't, that excited about The Little Mermaid. But I was like, yeah, as soon as I find another shirt just like this, I can make you one. Thinking, what are the odds? And then, months later, I was thrifting at a completely different store. And I found this one. The exact same style of shirt. I don't know if it's the same brand because I don't remember who made this one originally. But it's the exact same style of shirt with, look at that. That's the same. It's got the flowy at the bottom. It's exactly the same except roses. And I was like, so then I just had to find a t-shirt to do this with. And we actually already had that one too. So when my brother passed, his friends had a shirt made for him, like in memorial for him. And we all got one. And so it's going to be basically the same idea. I'm going to cut the sleeves off of this one, the t-shirt, and add these sleeves. Apparently I've lost the sleeves onto it, like this. It's not perfect, obviously, like they're different colors blue, but I still think it's going to look really cute. So, like that. And I had thought about, something I thought about on this one was I probably could have just left the back. So I was like, maybe, because this one's a little bit bigger, could I just leave the back and cut the back of the shirt off and just put the front. But there's actually his tattoo on the back, so we're not going to do that. So I still have to save the back, and then I'm going to make her a shirt out of two shirts. For this part of the shirt, I just cut it directly down the middle-ish. And then this I can trim more as I attach it to the shirt and decide where I want it to sit. But for now, I just cut it up the middle. And I cut the sleeves off the t-shirt. So what I'll do is start by pinning here. Just pin this, align the shoulder seams there, and then pin this down the front. I'll pin the back too, just to keep it from shifting, but I'm going to pin this down the front and then on both sides, and then stitch that down and go from there. One of the things when you're working with t-shirts is to be really careful not to stretch them, because the fabric's going to start to roll and it's really easy to stretch. Since the fabric I'm using, like the cover up, isn't stretchy, I don't want to stretch the other fabric underneath. So I gotta be real careful. And here, it's a lot to go through, but I'm just pinning the shoulder seam and I'm aligning the lacy part with the edge of the shirt so that will look nice. And again, as you go, because the lace doesn't stretch, you don't want the t-shirt to stretch, because then your stitches won't look good. And once you pin, I went ahead and pinned the other one because I want to handle this as little as possible so it doesn't roll too much. Also, can we admire how dog hair gets everywhere? I had to make sure to pick it out of a few spots so it wouldn't end up in the stitches. And I'm just stitching this straight on top. I'm not doing like where you put the two pretty sides together because I want the lacy part to show. I want that to look like it's kind of covering it up, right? Okay. And to attach this, I'm just going to use a straight stitch. I'm going to stitch once pretty close to the edge of the lace so that doesn't curl up, but then I'll run another stitch like on the other edge of it so the t-shirt doesn't curl up too much. So it just keeps that flat, the whole thing flat. And I am starting and stopping a lot because I'm trying to make sure that I don't have any lumps and bumps and everything is even. Although I absolutely ended up right there. Did you see it? Yeah, I had to go take that out. I was spending so much time and then I did it anyway. Oh, that's okay. Things can be fixed. It's just annoying when you have to. I was winding my bobbin and this was almost, that's why there's so much on there. But yeah, I ran out of this. It's like, oh, please let me have another navy. And I found this one. And they're going to work. Now, I stitched this before cutting the excess away. You can see my decorative stitches. And it makes a V down the back. That's just the natural shape of the drapey shirt. And I like it. So I'm cutting away the t-shirt by lifting it up. And then just cutting to make sure I'm not cutting the pretty fabric. And I did use my decorative stitches to catch the edge of the drapey fabric because that will fray. So that is completely covered by my decorative stitches. And then I will, on the top where the shoulder is, it kind of comes back and around. So I end up just stitching that down too. And it literally looks like the shirt's just kind of hanging over it. Then I decided I wanted to try to make a neckline because I don't like this t-shirt collar. It's too tight. So I cut this off, just kind of following the curve of the neckline and making it a little bit wider. And I take a piece of t-shirt fabric and I cut about an inch strip and fold it in half to sandwich that in between. But I have no footage of that. But that's what I did for the neckline. You don't get to see me do that. You just get to see me cut the strip. Because then I had to go iron and everything, and I just forgot to reset my camera. So, but I cut the strip, and I just kind of fold it in half to catch the edge. I didn't do anything fancy with it. It's just a zigzag stitch all the way around the neckline. So, and this gave me a great idea for a second shirt, because I have my shirt. And now you get to see another shirt tutorial. Same shirt, different idea. So. And this one is going to involve 5 other thrifted shirts, most of which were too small. And one of them even had a graphic printed on the front, but it didn't matter because I liked the color. So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to cut this one off at an angle. I don't like the length of the t-shirt, so I'm going to cut it, but at an angle. We're going to start off, you know, kind of funky. And this shirt hasn't been worn a lot, so it does lay as flat as possible. You know how t-shirts are. So I did lay it as flat as possible to make sure I could cut this evenly on both sides. So I'm cutting the top and the bottom at the same time. And then after I cut it, I measured the width here so I'd know like how big around the shirt is and kind of an idea of how long I wanted to make some strips. Because I'm going to cut up all my t-shirts to do something fun. So I just cut the front and the back of all the shirts apart and then cut the bottom seam off. And I'm basically cutting all of these into big rectangles. I made them all the same width, which I think was like 7 inches wide. Could have been 8. I'm not actually going to look right now and try to figure it out. But I made them all the same width. Height, whatever. And I'm not worried about the sides right now because I can cut those a little bit more even and to shape later. So you can see like this one, I'm not going to get as long of a piece because of the armholes, but that's okay. I can still cut it off to be like the same, width as the other one. So I'll do that with all of my shirts. All right, what I did with those was I just stitched a bunch together to make a big loop. It's just a straight stitch, one on top of the other, nothing fancy. And it is a little more than 2 times like the circumference of the shirt. So I measured how far around the shirt was. I made this a little over 2 times that distance. And I'm going to pin some spots because I want to like line this up a little bit because I'm going to do some pinch pleating. And so I'm going to mark the sides of the t-shirt, the middle, and then like quarters. I don't think I did 8s, although I probably should have. There was a lot of fabric here and I'm still new to this. So it was just a lot of pinning. And while we watch me pin, if you happen to be enjoying this, please hit the like button. If you'd like to hang around and see more, you can hit the subscribe button. Do all the things. Your engagement just helps me out, but it doesn't cost you anything. And I appreciate it. Now, I pinned the same points on the loop of fabric, each side half and then quarters. And I'm lining those pins up and pinning this in place with about 1 inch seam allowance. I think I went with 1 inch. It could have been a half an inch. I don't really remember. I just kind of pinned it on there. And then I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and I'm just going to run a zigzag stitch all the way around. And this was really slow going for me because I'm still new to this. So just take your time and stitch a little bit, put a little pleat in there, go forward. And I kept stopping to make sure that I had this correct seam allowance. I had to stop just about any time I wanted to do a pleat because I'm not very good at it. And I just took my time. Make sure everything's lined up. I did use this little, seam thing to help push it through. It just helps as like a little guide. Also, I ended up pulling one of my pins out, which was unfortunate. Okay, so here's where we are. Like, I got started and then got a snag something with my machine and immediately got frustrated, had to fix that, and then I think I forgot to keep recording. So I did have one spot where my pen came out, and I think it was right here. So I did a little bit too much pleating, and then by the time I got to the end, like, I was having to like stretch the material. So, you know, mistakes, but that's okay. Now, because I did do this at an angle, right, this, you see that? So this side is a little bit shorter than what I want it to be, so I'm going to add another layer of this. And I made this one. It's basically the same, only it's about the same size as this one. I don't want it to keep getting bigger and bigger, so it's about the same size as this one. And to stitch it, I'm just using a zigzag stitch, and like this is just sitting on top. So I'm going to pin the new one here and then sew that. Trying to work, and Ollie is like, I'm going to lay right here. Here's where I am, ready to start stitching. Now I'm going to show you this because it's funny, because I did it last time. I was like, I need to make sure not to do that again. I knew that the bottom of the shirt needed to go in the sewing machine this way, but all my pins are going that way. It's fine. I can still get them out. It's just a little bit more of a pain, but I'm not going to repin everything, so it'll be fine. I do have more pins this time because there's the bottom of this layer wasn't even like the bottom of the t-shirt, so I do have some things I need to make sure to pin over. But also I'm not really pinch pleating all this, so I want to make sure it stays a little bit more even. So, we'll see. I ended up deciding I didn't like the sleeves the way they were, so I cut them off, put some strips around, and sewed that on just like I did the bottom. And again, measuring how much fabric I need to go around. So I did that on both sleeves, and I just don't have any other footage of it. I also cut the collar off, and I used one of the pretty shirts to make a little bit of a collar on this one as well. So I'm just kind of showing, like, this is how wide or how long my sleeve is, so like how much material I need and how long I want it to be. But I don't have any other footage after that, so, you know. Now we're at the end of the video, and here is shirt number 1. Almost hit my dog. And then I hit my door. So this is the collar. I think it looks better. Obviously still something I need to practice, but I think it looks cute. And look how drapey it is in the back. Woo! It's very cool too compared to just a regular t-shirt. Shirt number 2. This one's my favorite. I love it. I love the sleeves. I just think it's so cute. Very whimsical and fun. I'd love to hear from you down below. Which shirt is your favorite? Which look do you like better? And as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to find out what Heather does next time.